So, did have a recording of session 19 of the Blacklands. Unfortunately, OBS's audio kind of got a little bit wonky. Nobody else's audio besides mine was recorded. Um, Found out it was some type of issue due to the OBS update where I had to reinstall the audio thing that I use. It was a whole thing. Anyway, so unfortunately, the best I'm going to be able to do is going to be a recap. So give me 1 second and I'll get to that right now. All right. So, where we left off, session 18, we were about to meet with the mercenaries, the Mistwalkers, I believe is what they are called. We met with them. We're going to be going through the fugue plane with them apparently in about a month and a half. So that's gonna be fun. Um, but we did a lot of stuff around town. A lot of projects were brought up. The main things to note while in town is that Parnox, my character, decided to give forward a helping hand or an olive branch, for better, as it were, to the Parliament, the group that's actually going against them. Due to his deal, Parliament has decided to open up their building that originally was going to be only allowed to those of like-minded, to everyone in the town, including us. So we've gotten a few things from that, as well as what Parnox is now going to do is every time there is, at the beginning of every month, when they're allowed the opportunity to bring forward projects to do, Parnox will use his voice as basically the people's. He's going to veto his voting power for the people's, unless it's basically they choose to do a project that they don't have the funds or resources to build. Other than that, we started moving forward to the Children of the or the Faithful of Thiel to see what was going on with that camp. Along the way, we ran into a few different problems, such as, but not limited to, one, we found a few horses. Really exciting. They all died except for one because of a giant smoke monster that almost killed Isaac, Justin's character. So that was fun. A few other good things though happened. Justin's character Isaac got a magic. Now has a weapon that is magic. We found a wandering forge. Parnox tried to put his gun in it to see what would happen because technically it's not a magic weapon, even though it's a packed weapon. But I can make a magic weapon a packed weapon later. But unfortunately, it looked like the forge did not want to use iron. It was a magical forge. It seemed like it needed a very specific type of like material. And so noticing that the metal was corroding, Parnox basically went with the next best thing. It was like, huh. Justin's character, Isaac, has an ironwood sword, which is literally just wood. So he asked Justin to give it to him. He put it in the forge, and upon taking it out, it is now has etching in it that is solidified in amber and amber edging. It is a magic weapon that does still does slashing damage, doesn't do any +1 or anything like that. But if he kills a monster or an enemy with that sword, he gets temporary hit points based on their CR. So that's really, really cool. We were able to travel to the Faithful Thiel, and things have gotten very bad since the last time we were told about it. When we last heard from them, they're like, we thought it was each other, but now we realize maybe it's a third party. The people who thought it was a third party have both been kicked out of their camps, potentially dead, so that's a fun thing. So we're gonna have to hopefully try to completely stop a huge battle from happening, so that's gonna be we agreed to hear out the Faithful of Thiel. We did not agree to help them. They truly do believe it as though the Children of the Blood Chalice, which is a little bit awkward now. What else happened? Oh, last thing that happened is before we left, since we were traveling through the mountains, we decided to add a new type of pack animal to pull the cart. In addition now to the Krat pack, which goes extremely fast on roads, but very, very slow on rough terrain. We now have what's known as a Hixdro named Taurus, who is not affected by rough terrain at all. He moves 20, regardless, basically 20 miles per day, regardless of rough or good terrain. And yeah, he's a big boy, and we love him, and we will make sure that we will do everything in our power to make sure we don't lose him, because our party spent 200 gold on him. Oh my! I'm so upset about that. But yeah. Also, hi Winifred. But yeah, that's kind of really everything. It was a lot more role play. There was a few things that happened. We were ambushed by bandits, but we kind of handily took care of them. They are part of the Unseelie Court, which is interesting. Looks like we may have potentially made enemies with the Unseelie Court, although who surprise, I don't think it's anyone's. But yeah, I think that about covers it. Oh, the other project that happened, because I should notice we put forward 2 projects. One was submitted by Isaac's character Justin, or Justin's character Isaac, apologies. That being that he's going to want to train a special ops militia, specifically to go into the tower to try to bring back his significant other. Give me one moment. And the other project that was put forward was by me, by Parnox. We want to do a 2-story apothecary study kind of combination to deal with both Kaylin's request for an apothecary healing area, as well as Vret's need for his own personal study. So hopefully we'll be able to take care of that. There has been some changes to the build system. The DM, Daniel, has been kind enough to kind of very, very well solidify basically the building system. Structures, improvements, resources, or expansions, and they range from small to grand, and depending on the type of thing that we agree upon, depends on what it is. Obviously, the bigger it is, the more it takes up. We decided on a 2-story one partially because of the town size. We do need to work on that expansion first and foremost, most likely. So I'm hoping that we can do that once we get through. But yeah, that about covers it, I believe. Everything on session that happened in session 19. Hopefully next time we have a session, I have fixed the audio issue. I made sure to do that. I'll make sure to double check the audio issue, and hopefully soon I'll be able to start streaming again. Or at least streaming the process for that. So yeah, all that being said, hope you have a wonderful day and enjoy.